Item: SCP-489. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-489 is held in a containment unit at Site-113. To prevent personnel accidentally bringing insect life into SCP-489's cell, a shower room has been established outside of the containment cell. Personnel will change into the clothes provided to them after cleaning. Testing with SCP-489 is limited to indoor spaces. Due to the potential of containment breach and site damage, at no point may insectile-based anomalies, including instances of SCP-831, be stored at Site-113. Description: SCP-489 is a roughly dome-shaped conglomerate mass consisting entirely of objects used to kill or repel insects, for example aerosol pesticide cans, bug zappers, flisswatters, footwear, and lighters. Each item is capable of independent autonomous movement, though they usually move along the ground as a whole when in motion. As of the 17th of June, 2013, SCP-489 measures roughly 5 meters in height, and 8 meters in diameter at the base. There is a badly damaged transit van in the center of the mass, which contains a human skeleton sitting in the driver's seat. The skeleton's rib cage has been crushed. A faded, scratched logo can be seen on the right side of the van, which reads: Streams Termination. Sick. Services. We'll bash any bug, big or small. 1/555 Bug Bash. When an insect of any species comes within 5 meters of SCP-489, SCP-489 will surge towards the animal and attempt to kill it. Of note is that SCP-489 is heedless of other non-insect organisms should an insect be on or nearby them when attacking, usually resulting in severe injury or death should said organism fail to move in time. However, due to the number of objects moving at once, SCP-489 often fails to reach the target at all, instead having individual parts impede one another's movement. If SCP-489 fails to kill the insect, individual items on SCP-489 become hostile to one another and begin hitting objects adjacent to them. When not in the presence of an insect, SCP-489 is relatively docile, making study of it easier. Should SCP-489 successfully terminate an insect, objects capable of handling it safely, for example tweezers, shovels, etc., will retrieve and pass the insect along the edge of SCP-489 towards the storage space of SCP-489. During this time, it becomes possible to see the transit van without imaging due to items moving out of the way to open the doors. The storage space of the van in SCP-489 possesses extra-dimensional properties, containing dozens of rows of glass jars stored on wooden shelves. Every jar is full of various dead insects. If presented with new objects that would be considered bug killers, SCP-489 will readily attempt to incorporate them into itself. However, this habit makes its goal of exterminating insects even more difficult with the newly acquired mass. Newly added items immediately show signs of sentience. When new items are introduced to SCP-489, other items will enter the van's storage space and bring numerous jars containing disproportionately large specimens to the front of the storage space. These samples appear to serve as trophies for SCP-489. Each jar is labeled with a date, and how the insect was obtained. Newly added items will gather around these jars in apparent admiration.